Welcome back to another Side Salad. Let's quickly get a taste of today's flavorful topic. Today, we're talking about energy cycles and more specifically, the Betari Box model. Now, this one's simple to understand, but surprisingly hard to catch in the moment. Here's how it works. My attitude affects my behavior affects your attitude, and your attitude affects your behavior. And just like that, the loop continues. It seems simple, but there could be some complexities on how it shows itself in different areas of our lives. Let's take this to the workplace for a second. Imagine this: a senior executive or a boss walks into the office having one of those stereotypical bad days. You know, the ones that they're allowed to get, but no one else is allowed to have. Maybe they didn't sleep well, maybe something went wrong at home, or maybe they're just having one of those days. But instead of pausing to check that energy, they storm in, snap at a manager, throw out blame, and create tension with every word and all their interactions. Now, that manager that was the main recipient of that toxic energy, who might have started the day in neutral or even upbeat, absorbs the negativity, but they can't shout back at the boss. So what do? They carry the same energy to their team. Maybe they micromanage, maybe they're short with their staff, but overall they set a tone. And then the frontline employees, the ones with the least amount of power, end up holding all of that weight. They've got nowhere to send that energy, so what happens? They start to shut down. They show up late. They stop contributing ideas, and they lose interest. And here's the kicker. That same executive who set off that chain reaction now is calling these folks to their office to issue write-ups and warnings. How ironic is that? You planted the seed, but now you're angry at the fruit. This is how climate gets wrecked. Not because people don't want to perform, but because they're operating in a system of transferred stress and unacknowledged energy. One person's unchecked attitude can shape an entire culture. Now let's switch the scenes. This shows in our friendships and our relationships as well. Think about that one friend or partner who starts to pick fights because they're stressed about something else. They might say something slick, something dismissive, or just emotionally shut down. Now you're left holding the bag wondering what you did. And without even knowing it, you start responding differently. Maybe you're less open, less generous. Maybe you match their distance with your silence. And guess what? Now they're upset at you because you've changed. They don't see how they let the energy that caused the shift. It's the Betari Box model at work again. Attitude becomes behavior, and behavior becomes the spark that sets someone off. This is why emotional awareness isn't just self-care, it's community care. How I show up doesn't just stay with me, it spreads. It's like a cologne or a funk. It comes in the room whether I mean to bring it or not. So here's your side salad takeaway for today. Before you pass on that mood, ask yourself, what am I really feeling? And who might I hand this off to if I'm not careful? Because if we don't take ownership of the energy that we put out, we might find ourselves blaming others for the reactions we actually caused. Remember, this information is not solely meant just for awareness, because what's awareness with no change? I share this information for people to educate themselves on a commitment to behavioral changes. And with that said, continue to normalize authenticity and choose curiosity over certainty. And I'll see you the next time on the Salad Bowl Podcast.